Hey, cousin, it's your favorite cousin Ken here at the Lighthouse Women's Wellness Center. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about daddy issues. This is the Lighthouse Women's Wellness Center. Me and you are welcome to stay if you'd like, but I am talking specifically to women that have daddy issues, or you just don't have the best relationship with your dad. It's not to say that you haven't healed from these things. Maybe you have healed from these things, or maybe you're in the process of healing from some of the things we're going to talk about. But today I am going to be talking to all of you ladies that are dealing with daddy issues because it is time to overcome what you have been through when it comes to your dad. And we're going to talk about mommy issues later, which we know a lot of us have mommy issues. Most people have mommy issues and daddy issues, but specifically mommy issues because no matter what daddy does, we're always looking to mom for support. We're always looking to mom to save us. We're always looking to mom to nurture us. And if mom didn't do that, then we carry a lot of resentment for mom for the choices that she made. Regardless if we love her or moved on or grown up or whatever, we still hold on to those emotions. When you start to do your inner child work, those emotions are going to come up. When you start to do your inner child work, the emotions that you have towards your dad, that is going to come up and it needs to come up. We don't need to run from it. We don't need to run from the way that we feel. We need to feel these emotions in order for us to heal. So we have to stop suppressing them and stop trying to please our dad so that we can get the healing that we need. Because a lot of times we don't want to hurt our fathers. We don't want to say something to offend our dad. So we will just hold it in. But if you are being guided by spirit to have a conversation with your dad about the way that he raised you, the things that he has done to you, then it is time for you to have that conversation. And I know for myself, I had to have a conversation with my dad because many of you know that my dad did not raise me. So if you my cousin from my old YouTube channel, Can't Be the Light, y'all already know the story. I told you all the story. But for those of you who don't know, my dad left me with my mom when I was about 8 years old. And he had a really bad drug problem, and it was best that he did leave. I was not mad about him leaving. Trust me, I was happy that he left because of all of the things that he was doing to my mom. And it was just crazy, okay? A crazy environment growing up with him in the house. And I was I was happy that he was leaving, but I was also sad that he was leaving because no matter what he was doing to everybody else, he never did that to me. He always treated me like I was just a little princess, even though he was cray cray. Not a little cray cray, a whole lot of cray cray. But he did always treat me like I was his only child because I was his only child. Even though I had other siblings, he always treated me nice. So my sisters and brothers would be like, Ken, go ask your dad, can we have this? Go ask your dad this and that. Because he would always tell me yes, but he was always really mean to everybody else. So anyway, that affected me because even though he was nice to me, I didn't like the way he treated my mom. I didn't like the way he treated my siblings. I didn't like the things that he was doing. And in fact, I told my mom one day that she needed to leave him. I remember telling her this when I was a little girl. And she was me that she knew that she needed to leave him, but she didn't. And so, like many of us, we just have to suffer through our childhood because our parents are making decisions that they want to make. And it doesn't matter how we feel as children, we just got to go through it. And I lived that life. And when my mom finally got to the point to where she had enough of him, she ended up leaving him. But I was so upset. Come on, cousin, come on in here so I could tell y'all my story, Libby. But I was so upset because, like I said, there was a part of me that didn't want him to leave, but there was a part of me that wanted him to leave. And I was so upset with my mama because I felt like it was her fault. I felt like for a long time as a little girl, I felt like it was her fault. She was the reason why he wasn't there. And I didn't understand that at that time he was doing a lot and he needed to leave. But as a child, I really didn't understand that. I just wanted my dad. I missed his presence in my life. And that just goes to show that children don't really know any better. And that's why I tell any mom out there, listen, it doesn't matter if you're struggling, whatever you're going through, take those children with you. Don't leave the children just because you're struggling or whatever you're going through, because I promise you, they're going to love you regardless. As I got older and I became more aware of how he was showing up in our life, I got angry with him because then I started to see, like, okay, well, it's not really my mom's fault. It's his fault. He's the reason why we went through all the things we went through and all the things that were going on. It was really his fault. But he made it seem like it was my mom's fault. That she was the reason why he was leaving, but it really wasn't her fault. It was his fault. He just didn't want to admit to that. So anyway, once I got older, I was able to recognize that he was the actual issue. So he never came back. He left. He moved to South Carolina. Y'all know I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. So he moved, and I never talked to him again until I reached out to him, I think after I had my daughter. So I had to been maybe 21 or something like that. I reached out to him, and it was just like he wasn't really interested in talking to me. He really didn't want to talk to me. And that hurt me because I felt like I'm your only daughter. How can you act like you don't want to talk to me? But the way that he made me feel, I never will forget. And I was just like, okay, well, I'm not ever going to reach out to him again. That's what I was on. And I didn't, you know? And in my heart, of course it hurt me. But as I started to get older, then I started to hear the voice of spirit. This is when I started really getting my own connection with spirit. And spirit told me, your dad did what he was supposed to do. I heard it inside of me. And I was wondering, like, what that meant. But then I heard spirit tell me that your dad was only supposed to give you life. And that's what he did. He was supposed to bring you here, basically. And that was his only role. And as I started to get on my spiritual journey, then it made more sense to me. At the time when I heard that, I was still in my 20s, and that gave me closure. So I wouldn't be angry. But once I got on my spiritual journey and I really started to build a connection with spirit, then I was able to recognize what spirit was telling me. I was able to really understand it because I had to grow spiritually in order to understand it. So basically, what spirit was telling me was that I'm not just this human body that needs parents. I am a soul. I am much greater than this physical body. And one of the experiences that I will have to go through as a soul in this human body, I will have to go through the experience of not having a dad present in my life. That is a part of my experience. He was only supposed to make sure that I came here. He was not supposed to raise me. He was not supposed to teach me anything. He was not supposed to be a part of any of my accomplishments or none of that type of stuff. He was not supposed to do that. His role in my life was only to bring me here. And that made sense to me. So I accepted that. And I can tell you, once I was able to get that closure that my dad was only supposed to bring me here, then I stopped expecting for him to be something that he would never be. And I believe that when it comes to our dads, especially those of us who have daddy issues, we want our dad to be someone different than who he is. But that is not who he is, and that is not his role. So we have to accept the fact that, number one, you're not just your body, you're not the experiences that you're having. You are a soul that has incarnated into your body, and you're having experiences. Some of those experiences are going to be favorable, some of them are not going to be favorable. But every experience is for your soul to grow. And you're not going to get everything that you want, but you will have everything that you need. So, for those of you that are listening out there, your dad did what he was supposed to do. And I know that that may be hard to hear for some people, just depending on where you are on your journey. But many of us were not supposed to have the dad that was going to be a hero for us. That's not what we were supposed to experience. We were supposed to experience our dad the way that we experienced him. And what it is going to do, if it hasn't done it yet, what it is going to do is help you to recognize, number one, that your help does not come from your dad. Your help is going to come from spirit. And so many of us who carry this light, we want our parents to be our savior. We want our parents to be perfect. But the reason why we don't have these perfect parents is because we have to get our support from spirit. Our parents are in the spirit realm, okay? We have to hear what we don't hear. We have to see what we don't see. We have to connect to our creator because that is where our guidance comes from. We are not like the typical everyday average person. A normal everyday average person, they may have that support system. They may have dad there. They may have mom there. They may have this beautiful story about their parents' love life or whatever, that's for them. But for those of us who came here to change this world, we have to connect to spirit in a way that other people don't. So therefore, we don't get all of the cushion and all of the support from people that other people get. We just don't. We don't get it. All right. We get life. Okay. We get the experience of coming here. And the more we grow and the more we evolve, then we are able to recognize that it's not always about getting what we want. Our life cannot be about us because we came here to do something. And our focus should be 100% on doing what it is that we came here to do. And if we have these relationships that are so supportive, then guess what will happen? We will get caught up in these relationships and we will not evolve. We will go to dad about everything. We will go to mom about everything. We will go to, all these people about everything, but we cannot do that. Those of us that are called to ascend, we are not supposed to go to people for support. So you won't have a lot of support. If you do have support, it will be later on in life. It'll be after you start to love and support yourself and you recognize that all you need, you already have. Then you will have people that will come into your life and support you. But when it comes to your dad is not going to be the one that is going to be your hero. Your creator is your hero. Okay. And you have to go through all of these ups and downs and traumatic experiences so that you can see that. And I know that to the human mind, that doesn't make sense. But remember, the ways of spirit is not our ways. Okay. The way the spirit is and the way the spirit teaches is not in the way that we are or the way that we teach. So we may think that it's extreme for a child to have to go through so much chaos with their dad or abuse from their dad or whatever it is that we go through, when it comes to our dad, we may think that it was extreme. But I'm here to tell you that that experience is actually what is pushing you towards a greater connection to spirit. If that did not happen to you, then you would be closer to your dad than you would be to spirit. And that is the truth. That is the truth. And it's true for most people in the world. Most people in the world are looking for a savior, somebody to save them. But for those of us who have nobody to fall back on, then what do? We go to our creator as we should. So that is the message for today. I'm here to let you know that your dad was not supposed to be everything that you wanted him to be. He was supposed to give you life, and that is what he did. And you thank spirit for that, and then you move forward. The next thing you should know is that your dad had a life story before you became a part of it. Okay. So this is something that I have to recognize too, because my dad had a traumatic story before I even came into the picture. My dad and my mom both lost their mom when they were 15 years old. My dad lost his mom, or I'll say lost because, that's what most people understand, but they're not lost. But my dad's mom passed when he was 15 years old. And he was one out of, I think, 11 or 12 siblings. So he did not have the support of a mother. He didn't have that. So that made him a certain type of person, okay? Which was not the type of person that you would love to be around. Even though, he had a side to him that was very nice, he also had a very mean streak, very monstrous side to him as well. And that's because of his experiences. And this is the reason why we heal. Okay. Sidebar. This is the reason why we heal. This is the reason why spirit is guiding us to heal. Because if we don't heal from the things that we've been through in our childhood and the things that have happened to us in our lives, then we will turn around and be the same parents to our children that our parents were to us. And for those of you out there that may be afraid to have children, listen, after you start doing this work, You will be okay. You will be okay. You will feel more equipped and prepared to take care of your children. Because I know that some people go through such a tough childhood that they feel like they don't want to have children, whether they know it or not. Okay. A lot of people who don't have children, they're in their 30s or 40s or whatever, it's not always because they don't want them. A lot of times they are afraid to have children on a soul level. They're afraid to have them. But I'm telling you, you will be a good parent and you will not repeat what your parents have done, especially if you're doing the healing work on yourself. Any dad that leaves his daughter is rejecting a part of himself. And when a dad does that, it's not personal. It has nothing to do with you as an individual and everything to do with him and his experience. A daughter changes a man's life in a way that nobody else can. I'm telling you, I've seen it over and over again. When a man has a daughter, she does something to him that his wife can do, his mom can do. No woman in the world can do what the daughter can do in a man's life. She heals him in a way. And when a daughter is rejected by her dad, then it's not necessarily because he's rejecting you. He's rejecting that healing and what has to happen in order for him to receive that pure love that you give him. Because a daughter's pure love for her dad is unconditional and it will trigger him to heal those parts of him that he has suppressed for many, many years. And that can be frightening. I'm telling you on a soul level, this is what's happening. Not just in the physical. I'm telling you on a soul level, this is what is happening. A lot of men will reject their daughter because they don't want to heal. All right. Just remember that your dad has his own story. Before you even came into his life, if he rejected you, he just rejected the healing that would have to happen in his life in order for you to be a part of it in a healthy way. When Spirit told me that, I was like, that's a bar. That is a bar. I'm telling you, it really is. Because a daughter's love for her dad can make him so soft and mushy. I mean, they just get so mushy about their daughters. I'm telling you, they do. A man that really loves his daughter, that's why I say I want me a man with a daughter, okay? And I hope he have an older daughter. I can watch and see how you treat his daughter. Dads just melt for their daughters. They really do. When they love their daughters, they will do anything for their daughters. And I know as a woman, we all want that type of love. We're like, I wanted that. I wish my dad wasn't a crazy person. I wish I could have felt that love. But guess what? That is not a part of your experience. Okay, that's not a part of your experience. Like me, I never known what it's like to have a grandmother. Some people know what it feels like to have a grandmother's love. I just told you that both of my parents, their mothers passed when they were 15. So I don't know what it's like to have a grandmother's love. Some people say, oh, I just love my granny this, my granny that. I never had that, but that was not a part of my experience. I was not supposed to experience that. But I do receive a lot of maternal guidance from the spirit realm. I mean, so much, so much. And I'm telling you that the love and the comfort and the support and all of those good traits that you want from your dad, you're going to get it from spirit. When you get connected to source, you're going to get all of the love and protection. You're going to feel love like you've never felt it before. And it may feel strange to you because you've been taking care of yourself for so long. But whenever you start to listen to that guidance from spirit that is guiding you to stop working hard and to rest, and you actually listen to that guidance, spirit is going to show you that you don't have to take care of yourself and that you are safe. And you don't need a dad in your life to protect you because remember, the physical body can only do so much. Your dad cannot protect you in ways that spirit can protect you. Your dad cannot provide for you in the way that spirit can provide. So, for those of you ladies out there listening to this message, I'm here to tell you that the sooner you accept that your help is in the spirit realm, in the angelic realm, the sooner you will be able to heal from everything that you've been through in your life. If you expect your life to be regular like everybody else, I'm here to tell you that it's not. And there's a reason for it. You have something very unique that you came here to do. And spirit wants our undivided attention. So many of you may even be guided to stop dating right now and just focus on yourself. When you start focusing on yourself, then you're focusing on spirit. You are opening up your vessel for spirit to come and dwell within you. You are cleansing, clearing, purifying, and allowing spirit to come and live with you. And there's no greater love. I'm telling you what I know. You'll never be alone. All of the fear that you have will be removed because many women, you're afraid and you're running to men to save you, and they're turning on you because they're not going to help you either, because your help is going to come from spirit, and that's it, and that's all. It's all it is to it. And I'm here to tell you that. All right. So if you want to get healing when it comes to the relationship with you and your dad, then get to know your dad's story. Get to know who he is. And if you don't know who he is, and if you don't know his story, then pray. And when it's time, Spirit will tell you things about your dad. I know things about my dad that he didn't even know that I knew, okay? That's how real this is. I know things about my dad and his family that he doesn't even know. So I'm telling you that it's greater than just this relationship with your dad. When you connect to the all knowing, the Almighty, the creator of everything, you know everything that you need to know. I forgave my dad for what he did. Many years later, we end up meeting back up. And y'all know because I showed y'all a picture of him on my post. Because I moved here to Georgia, and Georgia and South Carolina is right next to each other. One day I was coming from my sister's house in North Carolina, and I had his number. I still had his number, but I never called him. Spirit put it on my heart to call him. And I was passing through South Carolina, cousin, and I'm not even telling you no story. I was right by his exit when I called. Right by his exit. Didn't even know it. I just pulled over and I called him. And he answered. And I told him that I was in South Carolina. I told him where I was at. And I asked him if he wanted to meet me. He said, "You will come and see me?" I said, "Yeah, I'll come and see you." Because he thought I was mad at him. I wasn't mad at him. I just didn't reach out to him. He didn't talk to me. I didn't talk to him. It was just like that. But when I called him, he was so happy. And let me tell you, cousin, this man was dying and still didn't call me. He still didn't call me. And when I finally got the chance to see him, I just seen so much hurt and so much pain and so much that he had been through. All the years of, drug and alcohol abuse and all that caught up with him. And he was doing so bad when I seen him. And he just cried and cried and cried. He said, "You're so beautiful. You look just like me. You're so beautiful." And, I could tell that his decision, it hurt him. So for me to hold a grudge against him, and he already was hurt because of what he did to himself, so that wouldn't do either one of us any good. So we started our relationship over again. That was probably a couple years ago. We started talking, and he was convinced that he didn't want to go to dialysis. I told y'all this story too. He didn't want to go to dialysis, and that's the reason why he was looking so bad and doing so bad, because he didn't want to go to dialysis. So I ended up talking to him and going to a few appointments with them and everything like that. And then he's like, "Well, if you want me to go, I'll go." And I said, "Well, don't do it because I tell you to go. You go because you want to go. I'm not here to save anybody. I'm going to tell you the truth." I said, "You go because you want to go." And he's like, "Well, I'll go just for you." That's what he said. He said, "I'll go just for you." So he started going to dialysis. I think he thought we were going to be like more close than what we were. And we never really were like on the phone all the time like that. Because I don't talk to anybody on the phone like that all the time. And I think he was thinking that, it was going to be like, us catching back up and all of that, which we did catch back up. I got a chance to talk to him and all of that. But, I continue to live my life like normal, and he continued to live his life like normal. But, he didn't want to go to dialysis and all these other type of things. So he ended up passing last year because he didn't want to go to dialysis. And I had to sit with that because I knew that if I would have had a relationship with him, that he would have listened to me, he would have kept going. But I had to learn over the years, not just in this situation, but I had to learn over the years that I cannot be somebody's everything. Even though I can be somebody's everything, I cannot be somebody's everything. And that includes my own dad. I love him, but he has to love himself more. And he just didn't. And I couldn't make him. And I would suggest you save yourself the same way I'm going to save myself. Okay. I love my dad, but my dad made the decisions that he made, which is the reason why his life was the way that it was. And I'm going to keep on living because I didn't come here just to have a relationship with my dad, and you didn't come here just to have a relationship with your dad, nor your mom, or your siblings, or anybody else in your life. You came here to do what you were created to do. You have a life because Spirit is going to do something through you, not for you, but through you, through your life. And connecting to Spirit in a way that is very focused and firm is what's going to get you to your life purpose and your destiny. And it's okay to let go of people when it's time to. It's okay. And the hurt that you have for your dad, it's time for you to let it go. And I can't tell you what to do, but if you hear this message, just know that you've been hanging on to that for a long time. And the experience that you had with your dad was necessary for your growth. So take the lessons because it is going to make you much stronger. And you're going to be able to use every bit of that experience for your highest good. Spirit is going to make it right. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And if you let go and you don't hold on to hate and resentment and unforgiveness for what your dad did, then Spirit will give you closure. And I honestly believe that that is the reason why Spirit gave me closure with that relationship, because I chose not to be upset with him. I chose to see him for the person that he is. Okay. Not expecting any more from him, but I also was able to see the soul. And when you're able to see the soul of a person, then you understand that that soul has a journey that doesn't stop just because his life stopped here or whatever the case may be. The soul continues to move on. And I pray for his soul. And I move on my way and he moves on his way. And I'm grateful to be here. And I pray that you know that you are loved. I pray that you know that you are loved. And I know that life experiences can make you feel like you're not worthy of love, especially when you don't have the love from your dad. You could feel like you're not worthy of being loved, especially by another man. You can feel like that. But I'm here to tell you that you are worthy of love. And there is a partner for you that is going to love you. But your partner comes after you learn to love yourself. But only our Creator can teach us how to love ourselves. And I remember praying this one time because for many years, I didn't love myself, even though I felt like I did. I was disconnected. I was very disconnected, like most people. And when I started to grow and I started to get this enlightenment, because, only Spirit can give us the enlightenment. I started to get this enlightenment that I didn't love myself. I didn't love my life experience here. And that's the reason why I made a lot of decisions that I made. And I prayed and I asked for Spirit to show me how to love myself the way that Spirit loves me. And Spirit has done that 100%. 100%. Spirit has shown me how to love myself the same way my Creator loves me. I want to love myself the same way. But it has been a journey. So relax in the seat of being on that journey. Don't rush it. There's no finish line. It keeps going forever, but it gets easier. The ride gets smoother. The more you relax, the more you sit back, the more you recognize that you're on a ride. And you're not running like a chicken with your head cut off. You're on a journey. You're on a ride. And Spirit knows just where you're going and what you need to experience. And all of it is going to work for your good. But you have to believe that. And I know it's hard to believe that, but I'm telling you it's the truth. Spirit can turn anything around. As long as you don't get mad. Remember, I always tell you that. Don't get mad. If you get mad on the spiritual journey, you're done. That's it. But if you choose love, then you choose a higher vibration and you choose to see why behind what is happening. Not what is happening, but why this is happening. And Spirit will reveal it to you. But if we act like little human children that are throwing a temper tantrum because we didn't get our way and we didn't get what we want, then Spirit won't speak to you and you won't hear a thing. So, you can choose whichever way you want to go. But I found forgiveness is the best way because once we forgive, then Spirit will open up the door and give us the closure and we can move forward. But a lot of us, we have had some very monstrous dads, and it's better that a lot of them weren't around. I'm just telling you the truth. Because there are some women who had their dad in their life and they probably wish that their dad wasn't there. And that's a fact. And for those of you out there that did have your dad in your life and he tortured you or tortured your mom or tortured your siblings and all those type of things, like I was telling you my dad was in the beginning, just know that there's a reason why he was like that. Nobody that is happy and fulfilled is going to hurt other people. There's a reason why he is like that. And it's because of his life experiences. And that's not to make an excuse, but I'm just telling you that that's what it is. Okay? All right, cousin. I love you so much. You know I do. I'm going to invite you out to spiritual alignment class. Y'all make sure y'all come to spiritual alignment class. You do have support on your journey. You are not alone. Spiritual alignment class is a 4-week commitment to yourself so that you can get to your life purpose and so that you can do what it is that you came here to do. All right? Let's get into spiritual alignment. Let's stay focused. Let's not be distracted. Let's overcome all of these blockages so that we can do what it is that we came here to do. Remember, when women heal, we heal humanity. Men, too, if you're out there, you're definitely the leaders and playing a major role in the shift in the collective. But women, we have got to get over these daddy issues because many of us are holding on to these daddy issues and not making life better for us. It's actually making us worse, and we don't see it. We don't see it. A lot of times we don't. And I say we because we're a collective. But it's time to let go. For those of you who need clarity about any situation, personal development, relationships, career and finances, if you feel stuck, blocked in any kind of way, make sure you download your free guide, 3 things you can do today to get clarity about any situation. And if you are on YouTube, make sure you like and make sure you drop some purple hearts so that other people can hear this message. I love you so much. All is well. If you're joining spiritual alignment class, we'll see you in the private community because you definitely have support. You do not have to be on this spiritual journey alone. And if you have questions, if you need support, then you have support here at the Lighthouse. So make sure you join us in spiritual alignment class, and I'll see you soon.